What's up, everyone? How y'all doing?
Doing great, Coach. Appreciate you taking some time to join everybody. Obviously, you can see the Zoom call. What we're going to do is I'm going to have everybody ask me in the chat for a question, and then I'll refer them back to you. So we'll start right away. Dennis Fithian is going to ask the first question.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you.
What's up, Dennis? How you doing?
Hey, just tell me what it's been like since last year, March 11th, and now getting the team ready here. It's been during this pandemic and preparing for the upcoming season.
It's been a lot of unknowns. It's been a lot of learning throughout the process of learning what's the new is going to look like. But, at the end of the day, still trying to continue to keep forging ahead and getting our guys ready to have a fortunate enough, God willing, college season.
The next question will be from Theo from the Daily.
I don't have a question.
I think it was me, Theo.
Oh, Teddy, sorry.
You're good. Hi, Coach. I just wanted to ask how practices have been so far after coming back and having a chance to play together as a team for the first time since March. How's it felt to get back in the gym, and what have practices been like?
Well, our first official practice starts October 14th, but we've been pretty much, I would call it working out, workouts. That's the name for it, workouts. And we first began workouts back in June when we were allowed to come back to campus. And it's been great to get the guys in the gym. They've been excited. They're looking forward to the opportunity of getting better. We as a staff, it's been fun of seeing our guys, being able to touch them, like what we're doing now. When the pandemic first broke, we always had Zoom calls on just staying connected and talking about, different things, different issues, and talking about the team and what our hopefully upcoming season will look like if we do have a season. But now that we know, now that the kids return to campus, workouts has been awesome. And it's awesome to see that, we have a team that's well connected. Upper class is helping our freshmen out, helping them with the new terminology, the new way of how we do things here, how we play as a team. Staff energetic and enthusiastic on working with our guys in the gym, like I mentioned earlier. So it's been great.
Your next question will be from Jamal.
Juwan, I know that your first summer was getting used to your new basketball team and finding the best way to put players in certain roles. As this team becomes more and more your own over time, what changes, if any, are you looking to implement into year two, and how big is having a guy like Isaiah Livers back for your ball team?
Well, it's great to, have this group, a group that I have coached last year. Not saying that all of them have returned. We still have a lot of new faces. Some new faces, speaking of, like Sean D, Mike, and then you want to add, our freshmen to the fold. So, trying to get those guys up to speed has been fun. Now, with the return of Isaiah Livers, has been a huge boost to our team. It's great to see that he hasn't gone anywhere. He hasn't left. Yes, he had looked at a situation where he felt he wanted to just listen and see what was all the information that he's gathered on what will be the best decision for his future moving forward. But he's always shown throughout the process that he has, nothing but love for the University of Michigan. And this team was happy to see that he made the best decision moving forward for his future. But, overall, as a coach, you sit back and you evaluate on what can you do to put your team in a position to, be the best version of themselves. And so, I did a lot of homework while I was sitting back, during the pandemic, quarantine at home, just working hard, looking to see in what areas we can improve on.
Thanks, Coach. Next question is from Tom Crawford. Tom?
Yeah, Juwan, calling from the East Lansing, Greater Lansing market up here. A lot of interest in Brandon Johns Jr. Can you kind of tell me where he's at right now? Freshman year, before you got there, a little up and down, had an opportunity against Indiana, had a big game, and then never really saw the floor that much more consistently. And then last year was some good and some struggling elements. Where is he at right now in terms of making a prominent junior season?
He's big part of our team success, and Brandon plays a major role with his role for the team. He's embraced his role, and so I expect big things from Brandon this upcoming season.
Next question will be from Brian Bush.
Hey, Coach, thanks for doing this. With some of the departures, Xavier and John in particular, from a leadership perspective, who has stood up and stepped up from that standpoint? And has it differed a little bit because of the pandemic? You can't just hang out as easily. You can't be in front of people as easily. So how have they had to adapt some of those leadership qualities?
Well, when you have a guy like Xavier Simpson, and I have to start with him first because his leadership is special, and so you're truly going to miss a vocal leader, but also a guy that lead by example. But we also have other guys that have great leadership qualities and lead different ways as well. And I can always look at a guy like Isaiah Livers, Austin Davis, Eli Brooks, and then also Franz Wagner. I mean, they all have great leadership qualities. So we are not we don't have a shortage of leaders or leadership within this group at all. And then Mike Smith, who's another guy who's been through the trenches before and spent 4 years at Columbia, and you also can't leave out a guy like Sean D, who's now is his 4th year senior, who's played since his freshman year and started. So we have a very I would say experienced group that I don't second guess at all. Will we have a leader? As time goes, we'll know and be defined on who will be a true leader of the team once we get going in practice.
Next question is Ethan Sears.
Juwan, thanks for doing this. I'm wondering if kind of, in year 2 of being with this program and having a roster that's kind of more players that you've recruited, I guess, do you feel kind of more ownership over this team, over this program right now than maybe you did a year ago?
I feel the same type of ownership that I had last year when I became the head coach. This is my team, and each and every one of them are players that are part of this Michigan program, have accepted me as a coach, and I have, of course, welcomed each and every student athlete and with open arms. So, I know sometimes it can be defined well, and then I know it's been said that, there are a lot of these players that I didn't recruit. At the end of the day, this is my team. So, I don't put guys in categories or say, hey, you wasn't recruited by me. That there isn't. I don't have some type of pulse, so I don't have a relationship with any of the group. I have an excellent relationship with all of them.
Next question is John Borton.
Hey, Juwan, what have you learned about Hunter Dickinson since he has been on campus, and how much are you looking forward to working one-on-one with him some to teach him post-play in the Big Ten?
Well, what I've learned from Hunter is that he has an amazing, bubbly personality, and his sense of humor is very unique and finds that it's so infectious on the group that we all enjoy being around Hunter. And he never gives you a day where you don't find, any type of laughter in what he says, because he has that type of way of interacting and communicating with people. So I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to coach him. He came from a great high school program in DeMatha, been in touch with a lot of early on success on on the high school level and also in travel ball. So he's been, he knows how to play the game, and he has a high IQ, and I'm looking forward to having an opportunity to work with him.
Next question is Daniel Dash.
Juwan, I appreciate you setting aside the time to do this. A couple guys last year described Eli Brooks as a silent assassin. Do you want him to become more vocal as a senior now?
Oh, well, he's been vocal. He was vocal last year because, I welcome that. I really want our guys to be an active participant in their culture. And they know that when they hear that from me, that it comes from a really authentic, real place. And it also genuinely comes from the heart. He has a lot of knowledge that he has to offer to the team. And with his experience now being a senior, he's a worker, he's a grinder. He wanted to do whatever he can to help not only the team be successful, but each individual that's a part of the team.
Is there anything that you've maybe challenged him to do in particular from a leadership standpoint?
I don't have to challenge our guys. Only thing I ask for our guys to come out and bring the effort and energy each and every day, and I don't have to beg them to do that because they already come from that type of I would say pedigree.
Next question is Chris Ballas.
Hey, Juwan, a couple things. Anything on Sean D's waiver and what has he brought to the table? And then on top of that, there was a report that you guys were opting out of the Michigan Sun. Can you comment on that?
Well, first starting with your first part of the question, the waiver process will be submitted very soon. And then as far as the Michigan Sun, we're still looking at, a lot of the details on how the tournament will be conducted from a health and safety standpoint. My goal and number one objective here is to make sure that each and every one of our, not just players, coaches, or staff, healthy and safety is number one before any game is played.
Understood. And then Sean D, can you just talk about his maturity and what he's brought so far to the table?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, he has an amazing personality, fun to be around. He's a worker, so that's great. He's also a competitor, and I think he's shown that, playing in the ACC for 3 years. He fits the Michigan culture. He checked all the boxes.
Thanks, Coach.
Next question is from Jared Greenspan.
Hey, Juwan. Thanks for taking the time doing this with us. When you look at a guy like Franz, now that he has a year of college experience under his belt, what sort of can you expect from him in his second season, and what has he really worked on over the offseason to improve his game?
Well, we're going to need Franz as we did last year, and he's a worker, so he's always in the gym working on his game. He's always getting up extra shots. He's a student of the game as well, so he's watching film on wanting to go out there and just give wherever he can to the team, because that's the beauty of coaching a guy like Franz. He's a giver. Never ever once have wavered on the other side of looking at me, I. He's not a type of guy that look ahead or anything like that. He's locked in on the moment. So just to watch his growth, yes, we expect big things from him, but I'm expecting big things from all his teammates.
Next question will be from Brandon Brown.
Hey, Coach. Just wanted to ask you, what it's like seeing your son in the 25 jersey, and then also just touch on the dynamic of, being a big-time program and coaching your son as one of your players.
Well, it's a blessing, man. Just to see, where Jace has been through, having your son, your child, who you've helped, develop, teach to be the young man that he is today. He's an excellent student, and he's shown that throughout his years in school. He's always embraced Michigan, have so much passion for the school, Michigan, because his dad has always talked about Michigan. He's heard it in the household for years and years. And he's seen the excitement, how I get excited when Michigan football comes on or Michigan basketball. So it just started, from birth. And so Michigan has always been, his love has been his kids would say dream school. And to see it now that I get the opportunity to coach him, because, when I was working for the Miami Heat, and then dating back to when I was playing professionally, during the off season, you only get a small window, and I try to, pour it into my family, give them the support, being present at a lot of their, travel ball games or football games or soccer games. And, during the season, you feel so guilty because, even though you have home games, but it's an 82-game schedule. And how I'm wired, I'm more focused in on, okay, what's the next opponent? Who I have to guard, and, make sure I get my rest and what I'm eating and get a massage. And, you're seeing your family in the house and you're watching them grow up, but I wasn't as active as I wanted to be and I thought I was being. But now I get a chance to, like, at a very important stage of his life, to be available and to be present as he charters in this world. Right now, he's a young man. And my job is to help prepare him when he leaves this campus to be a man. And I get excited, just thinking and watching while he's in practice and getting a chance to interact and teach him along with the other staff. And I know the energy he's bringing each and every day. But here's the most important thing that makes it special, is that his teammates accepted him. And the beauty of how the relationship has formed with his teammates, it says a lot. None of you on this, and I'm not like attacking any of you, but none of you can really relate to like a kid being at his age right now where he's at, his dad being the head coach and being a part of an iconic collegiate team that had a lot of success here at the University of Michigan. Now you have to wear, the Howard name on the back of your jersey, and to come to Michigan, your dad coached you. He asked if he can wear 25. So that, you talk about tears, and I can cry, but I didn't cry. But, I'm asking, allow him to, enjoy this college experience. Don't base his experience and compare his experience from his dad, and right now they're still young. And remember the days when you were young, and I know you guys have to do a job, and I respect your job. I really do. But with all the social media, all the pressure that these student athletes receive from, negative, positive, who knows? I don't read all of it, but I know they read some of it. But keep in mind, they're still kids, man. They're still kids. Let them enjoy this college experience.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Next question is Brendan Quinn.
Hey, Juwan. So you were asked about Mohegan Sun, but I'm curious if you have any other updates that you can provide on the status of, kind of this changing schedule. And also, are you guys considering maybe hosting your own MTE on campus if it comes to that?
Yeah, great question. It's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of, new information that is changing daily. And sometimes the information changes 6 to 20 times a day. But we're trying to do whatever is best to make sure that we choose whatever, if we play in an MTE or if we host our own MTE, that the health and safety is number one. So I'm not at the position at this moment to say what our plans are, or pull like this. If it's, final yet, we're still working out some things, and hopefully we'll have some news to be able to share in the future.
And there's been talk about how many Big Ten games is the right amount of Big Ten games under these circumstances. Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, I sit on a lot of Zoom calls like all the, these coaches, and just speaking of just the Big Ten head coaches, we meet twice a week, and there's still a lot of unknowns. you hear the talks of, will it be 22 Big Ten games, or will it be 20, or will it be 24? I mean, they haven't finalized it yet, nor have they scheduled. So it's really hard to really come out and say what's your non-conference schedule look like, if it's going to be any non-conference. That still hasn't been decided yet.
Thanks, John.
We got time for a few more. We'll go to Andrew Kahn, please.
Hey, Juwan, thanks for doing this. This isn't my question, but just to clarify, you said, Shondi, the waiver process will be submitted soon. Do you mean like on your end, sending something to the NCAA, or you're expecting the NCAA to get back to you soon? Which one? Just to clarify.
Yeah, the waiver process is being submitted soon. So that's all I can give you right now, Andrew. Sorry.
All right. No problem. And then recruiting, just generally speaking, what has it been like for you doing it virtually? I know you're someone that, a personable guy, likes to be, face to face, but what's it been like doing it virtually? And do you kind of feel, caught up with the recruits, in these upcoming classes compared to, 2020 when you were, you had some catching up to do?
Well, like all coaches, we love going out in person and, watching the recruits compete, whether it's high school scholastic games or if it's, travel ball with their AAU teams. Now we all had to pivot, and Zooms have been more like the way of life. And, like I'm sure a lot of you, I've been on a ton of Zooms, and I lost count on how many. And that's the new wave of embracing the recruitment process. And so with that, I'm not making any excuses. Fortunate enough, me and my staff, and I would say we did a pretty darn good job of being able to have 4 commits thus far. And we're still grinding at this time. But 2021, I was looking forward to watching them play. Because you're right, last season I had to hit the ground running and, make sure that I get 2020 class and identify who are those recruits in the 2020 class. Now 2021 class, I've sort of missed out on identifying, all the talent that is out there on the 2021 class. But hey, it is what it is. The most important thing is our health at this moment. So I'm not making any complaints. Just wanting to make sure that we all, including yourselves, are, doing where we can to keep ourselves healthy.
We got time for a couple more. We'll go to Orion.
Hey, Juwan, obviously you have a lot of new faces on this year's team. I was curious about what the process looks like for integrating those new members and finding an on-court identity, given all the COVID-19 protocols and how that affected your offseason.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier, we haven't had a practice. We've had more workouts than anything, and making sure that we're practicing every way possible to keeping our guys safe and healthy with what state of Michigan has mandated, as well as the University of Michigan. So we've pivoted and making sure that we are doing the right thing possible by keeping everyone safe. And while that process is gone, we've been fortunate enough to still be able to get some activity in the gym. The amount of time that we've used, we try to make sure we utilize that time where it's being useful, but we haven't, everything is done with a purpose.
Mm-hmm. And if I can follow up, what early impressions do you have of the team from that on-court perspective, from that time in the gym, those workouts, any runs you guys might have had so far?
Man, we got a very jovial, excited group, man, that's looking forward to playing this season. So I'm praying that we all have a season so we can get a chance to keep working and grinding and developing a team that give this university something to be proud of.
Okay, we got time for one more. John Borton.
Juwan, did you breathe a sigh of relief at all when football got the go-ahead from the Big Ten, not only because you liked that sport, but also because it meant that you guys would probably be able to get going sooner rather than later?
Well, John, you pretty much answered half of this of the question. I love this sport, and I'm also excited that because of not just for us, I didn't even think about us. I thought about for the student athletes, those football players that are looking forward to this opportunity. For those who had their season last year, and for the new coming freshmen and the I would say up and coming seniors will get an opportunity to compete. So I'm happy for those student athletes more than anything, and because I know I was once them before, and just thinking back, if it was me, where it was my last year and I had it taken away, and understandably so, because of COVID-19. But but when you think back to it, like these kids just want to play something that they love playing. That's football, and I'm happy for Coach Harbaugh and his team that they get an opportunity to compete.
Okay, Coach. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, Juwan.
You're welcome.